Mambo Team Africa Worldwide. Welcome to the KiSwahili Worldwide channel. Karibu. I hope the lighting isn't too bad. This is being broadcast from Detroit, and as most people know, the weather in Michigan sucks. It's almost July, and it's still not the best of weather. But I digress. Today, I want to discuss KiSwahili Courtesy. Um, there may be a little bit of overlap with my video pertaining to greetings, but bear with me. A lot of the sessions may have some overlap because nothing exists in a vacuum, and when something pertains to one thing, it also pertains to another. Although I don't know every language in the world, I haven't been to every country in the world. Courtesy is always a big thing, I believe, with most cultures. You want to be polite, especially when you're a foreigner or an outsider. You never want to be perceived as rude. And so, two words that go far in most cultures, and it does go far on the continent. Those words are please and thank you. Please is tafadali, tafadali, tafadali. I have a hard time pronouncing it. It is spelled Tafadhali, and the DH is pronounced the same way the TH is pronounced in English, the. So it's tafadhali. That is please. In order to say thank you, that would be Asante. I think I got a little bit out of order, but I'll keep going. Asante, you have to say it slowly. I'm told if you say Asante too fast, then it means that you're not sincere. So you can't say Asante, Asante Sana, because it's kind of like you're trying to get the person to move along. You're not sincere. So you have to say Asante means thank you, and Sana means a lot or very much. So if you say Asante Sana, that means thanks a lot or thank you very much. And also, excuse me. Excuse me is samahani. Samahani. Samahani is spelled Samahani. Samahani. And it means excuse me, but I've also used it in certain contexts for I'm sorry, and I haven't been corrected on that so far by native KiSwahili speakers. So I think that depending on the context, you can say samahani for I'm sorry, but it's mostly used for excuse me if you're trying to get somebody's attention, or you're trying to maybe move throughout a crowd. You could say samahani. Now, the actual word for I'm sorry is pole, Pole, pole. Excuse the sound from the raindrops. Like I say, the weather is sucking today. Pole means I'm sorry, but do not confuse it with pole pole. If you say pole pole twice, it actually means slowly. So pole means I'm sorry, but pole pole means slowly. Also, don't confuse pole with upole, because upole means gentleness. Upole means gentleness. Pole means slowly, and pole means I'm sorry. So let's see. We went over thank you. We went over please. We went over excuse me. We went over I'm sorry. What else about KiSwahili Courtesy? When you want to know something and you walk up to a person, you should not just immediately ask your question unless it's an emergency situation, like maybe you need to use the bathroom or something. But here in the good old USA, we're not always polite, and so if we want to know something, we just walk up to the person and ask them, where is this, or do you know about that? But in East Africa, you would greet the person. And after you greet the person, you might ask them how they're doing. And they might even ask you how you're doing. And then, after you've done those pleasantries, then you can ask your question. And the person will be more receptive to helping you. And you probably can even switch back to English at this point if that person is an English speaker. So if you wanted to know where something was, you might walk up to that person and say, Samahani. And then once you got their attention, then you might say, Sasa Vipi. And then they probably say, Poa Sana. And then you can say, well, can you tell me how to get to the Central Business District? And another thing, I never ask people whether or not they speak English. If a person doesn't speak English, they're going to tell you they don't speak English. I don't know. To me, it's a little bit entitled. Come off entitled when you ask people if they speak English. Just introduce yourself. Approach the person in KiSwahili, and then if you've exhausted all the KiSwahili you know, then attempt to switch to English. And if they don't speak or understand English, they'll let you know. I don't speak English is Sesame. Sesame means I don't speak. Kiingereza. Kiingereza is English. So if a person says Sesame Kiingereza, that means I don't speak English. A person may also say Sifahamu. And as I discussed in the past, whenever you hear C, that means not. When somebody says C, it's a negative. So Sifahamu means I don't understand. So if a person says Sifahamu Kiingereza, that means I don't understand English. Sifahamu Kiingereza. And we know that Ki always indicates the language of a particular people. So, just like Swahili simply means the coast, and KiSwahili means the language of the coast. And you can also use these phrases if a person approaches you and you are unable to understand what they're saying, or you are unable to respond to them in KiSwahili. You will say, Sesame KiSwahili. Sesame KiSwahili means I don't speak KiSwahili. Or you can say, Sifahamu KiSwahili. That means I don't understand KiSwahili. Sifahamu KiSwahili. And let's see, what else about courtesies? Well, a lot of times, depending on if you feel comfortable, a lot of times people use sister and brother as courtesies. Sister is dada. Don't make an excuse thinking like daddy. Sometimes our mind can go back to English. I accidentally called a brother Dada one time. So you don't want to do that. Dada means sister, and uh, there are two words for brother. You can say Kaka, K-A-K-A. Kaka means brother, and Ndugu. Ndugu means brother. So if you want to get someone's attention, and it is a woman, you can say Samahani Dada. Or if it's a brother, you can say Samahani Kaka, Samahani Ndugu. And another really big one is the use of mama. But before I go into that one, because that's a little bit lengthy, I'll go into the word for sir. I don't think people tend to use the word father, which is baba, for strangers. Somebody can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But Bwana, B-W-A-N-A, is the equivalent to the English sir, S-I-R. So you can say Samahani Bwana, which means excuse me, sir. Samahani Bwana. Okay, and back to mama. Mama is like the most respected term in Africa. Mama does not just reply to your own biological mother. It does not just apply to the mother who raised you, but it also applies to anybody who is a woman who is older than you. And so that will be you will refer to her as mama, or someone may be discussing a person in third person and they will say mama. Don't make the grave mistake that I made once. I was in Mombasa and I was out snorkeling at a marine park, and one of the tour guides, he asked me to pass some goggles to a woman that was sitting nearby me on the boat, and he said, "Pass that to mama." And I grabbed the goggles and I said, "That's not my." I said, "That's not my mama." And he looked at me kind of strangely and he said, "That's not your mama?" And I was like, "No, I just met her today." And he didn't explain. He didn't have time to explain. But I know he's laughing at me. He's like, "You stupid American. You call her mama, refer to her as mama out of respect. That doesn't mean that is your mother, you dumb foreigner." So I figured that out later, but don't make that mistake. So that's a courtesy. And another thing about KiSwahili, the Swahili area, the African coast, East Africa, is if you have friends who live there, hopefully if you're traveling in that area, you make friends. They are very conservative about public displays of affection. And that doesn't even matter if that's somebody that you're very close to. When you are in public, or even in a car with where a driver is present, that's still considered public. There's no PDA. That's just something that is very much frowned upon in East Africa or the KiSwahili area. Let's see. Anything else with courtesy? That's all of the courtesy that I can think of right now. I'm almost at 15 minutes. I try to keep my videos under 15 minutes if I can. Okay, so I will see you all next time. Asante Sana for watching, and Kwaheri Kwasasa.